so much for the opportunity to come present today. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, Linda. It's fantastic that you're here for the chamber today. On behalf of the Bethel Park Municipal Council President Tim Mallory, Vice President Mark O'Brien, and the other 9 members of our council, the other 7 members of our council, thank you so much. We appreciate this one. I want to kind of two specific thank yous. First and foremost, the brains of the outfit, Adam Steele. Everything you're going to see on here, he was able to kind of pull out from weird discussions and interactions over the last several months. We knew the speaker series engagement, now that COVID was coming up, so we were starting to this one several weeks ago. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Master Sergeant Jeremiah Singletary. He is our Department of Defense, United States Space Force military fellow intern. His last operational assignment for the last 2 years was the United States Space Force out in Colorado. He has been with us since January, just killing it every single day. I only wish that I had a position I could take him and just stick him in there, because I know he would just run with scissors every single day. So we thank him so much. Jeremiah has been doing the Veterans Local Government Management Fellowship in conjunction with the ICMA, that's the International City County Manager Association. ICMA took over that program from Department of Defense a few years back, and that helps us take transitioning veterans and bring them into local government. The private sector, it's easy for a veteran to get in there. It's very difficult to bring a transitioning veteran who's got over 20 years of service, or even just 4 years, and get them into local government. So that's a great segue for them to kind of make that transition. Like I said, he kills it every single day. I wish I had a spot for you, man. It hurts me, pains my heart, but I don't. So first and foremost, we'll get into just kind of a couple of updates real quick. Bethel Park Municipal Council has had some transition this past year. So we had 4 new elected officials. We have John Oaks in Ward 3. That's in kind of like the west central area of Bethel Park. Then we have Joe Janisic in Ward 5 in the upper tier, the upper right-hand corner. Ward 7, Dave Espinar, that's on the west side over there. And then in Ward 9, Lindsay Flynn, she's at the very bottom of Bethel Park. Those are our 4 new council members. They bring a lot of passion, a lot of drive. Each one has their own distinct focal points, and we're so grateful for that because they're bringing a lot of that new passion and vigor. Some of the things that we are working on that's really going to help Bethel Park see itself. In 2020, the Municipal Council adopted a 10-year comprehensive plan that lays the high-level vision of where Bethel Park will go in the next 10 years. The Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code, that directs every municipality to have that comprehensive plan. But there seems to be that disconnect between the 30,000 and the operational level. And that's where we got the strategic plan. I'll point back to Adam again. He was the author for the very first 2021 Bethel Park strategic plan. That operationalizes that connection between the 30,000 foot level and the ground. And that has really helped us. He's made minor adjustments, and he was, the author for the 2022 strategic plan, and that allows us to put timelines associated with projects, capital improvement projects, and align that vision of council, the comprehensive plan, and the needs on the ground. And he's done such an amazing job. I'm going to tout him as much as I can, because he too is killing it. Some other updates that we did. Our budget, it was great. But with everything great, it can get improvement. So what we're doing, we're better aligning departmental revenue and what that would cost the taxpayers department by department by department. So we had some updates on that one. And all these documents are on our new and improved website. If you've been on our BethelPark.net website, you'll have seen a lot of changes. We're doing a specific emphasis of making sure that website is user-friendly. It needs to be the nexus point for Bethel Park to be able to display everything we need to and then share it out in multiple forms and venues. It will be the part where we get news. We share it on social media if it's having to do with traffic, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, professional education and development onto LinkedIn. So that will be the starting point for everything we do moving forward. And it helps us be able to better inform our residents about things that are going on in Bethel Park. There's also subscription and email distribution. that website will be able to do for us. It helps us be able to see ourselves and then see where our gaps in information are. So you'll see a lot more coming. It will be BethelParkPA.gov in the near future, so we are moving to a .gov account. We believe that provides a little more understanding of your local government. So we've identified that domain name, secured it. That also provides us a little more security. As you know, CISA provides that overarching security over the .gov domain names, and that allows us to kind of tie in underneath the umbrella of the federal government. It has a little more secure. So we all know that we don't want your local government to be hacked. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that we are not going to be become victim to any type of perpetrators, international or national. Big emphasis on our parks and playgrounds. And as you see, some of those that you have the slide deck, you'll see, you might see a friendly face over there in the far room here. There's Connie over there for our Miners Park. She was there for our grand reopening. We call that reopening because it really never closed. We just updated it. Numerous grants, specifically that one right there was about a $250,000 grant to get that park apparatus updated, ADA compliant, all the way up to the second tier, so the kids and individuals with disabilities can make it all the way up. Birch Street groundbreaking, that was the second phase of that Birch Street operational transition for the park. First phase was a several 100,000-gallon tank underneath that park, along with a rain garden, to hold back that storm water. Bethel Park is just like South Park, and we deal with flood waters over time and space. And so after the 2018 flooding incident, we had that same awakening moment. And so we're finding those key projects all across Bethel Park. We can grab that storm water, hold it, and release it slowly into the streams and creeks, so it doesn't affect that downstream. Oak Tree Park, another area, several 100,000-gallon tank underneath that park. And now the ice cream on the top is brand new playground set. That's the only park in Bethel Park with a Gaga pit. We've got new swing sets. All the parks are having new basketball courts, new painted lines, reinvesting that time to bring families into those neighborhood parks and see if we are taking some time to invest in that. All of those were grant money, by the way, to be able to identify some of those key components, such as the playgrounds. And our Millennium Park, that was a very large project. We are taking, we took one of our fields offline, making it a turf field, extends the life that the baseball associations can use that one early spring to late fall, so we don't have to worry about the ground freezing. A lot of grant money involved in that one too. New apparatus for the playgrounds, new facades. We have a new building up there so we can store our equipment and get onto the fields faster and better maintain them. Yeah, as you can see here, so you can see some of the end states for some of those parks. You can see the playground set at Miners, Birch Tree. Everyone had a distinct identity. We had multiple vendors bring us their ideas, and we tried something new. At Miners, we gathered up all of the parents and the adults, and they had the kids, and Diane was there, and it was your idea that she said, why don't you let the kids decide? So we let the kids decide. And that's been what we've been doing ever since. Now it's the residents that decided, with children input, those parents and grandparents, hey, what do you want in your neighborhood park? They chose that one, that, and that. None of us, we pick up a couple of the vendors, great ideas, and the residents are picking their neighborhood park playground. They're getting that input, they're getting that buy-in. And so that's so important for that community engagement, that community buy-in. How do you continue to get a community of 33,577 residents to get more engaged and more around the place? You work hard at it every single day. So one of the things that we're trying to do in Bethel Park is reach out to that community engagement. Whether it's our award-winning farmers market located right there in South Park, we do our No Cook Tuesdays as like the bookends before and after the farmers market. We did our Realtors Brunch. We were at the tail end of the vaccination clinics in our community center. We love our Summer Spectacular. What we changed a little bit, we're just lighting up fireworks from Millennium Park, but we have viewing stations all around Bethel. We're bringing in food trucks and vendors, and so it's almost like a destination. Each one will have its own little theme, so people can go there, enjoy the fireworks, not be caught with your closest 5,000 neighbors, but some more smaller group, but we'll have a little area just to walk around and enjoy the time. Community Day is back in full force. We are on this will be our 3rd year for the Halloween parade. We're not giving that up. We have a lot of great feedback on that. Our standard light up night and our kindness project. I don't think you can ever put a price tag on being kind to your neighbor, to other people. And we want to emphasize that so much. It goes with our identity. It goes with who we are in Bethel Park. And that kindness project was the brainchild of our public relations administrator, Kim Waitman. And she is just running the scissors every single day. And she takes that thing and it's hers. And she's been promoting every single year since we started it. A new initiative this year, it's our parking plan. We're doing so much of investment of our parks and our local areas. Why don't we have a signature event in each one of those areas? And so that's what we're doing this year. You'll see the program in one of the later slides. How do we keep that connection going? And it really, like I alluded to earlier, that website is going to be the nexus point, and it's also going to be the launching pad. Everything will start there and be shared out, whether it's social media, email distribution, whether it's a press release, any form of that medium we can think of, we get that out to our residents to keep them informed. And we're taking a very big approach, whether it's public access television, right over there in the corner, our LinkedIn pages, for that professional engagement, that professional development, whether it's sharing vacancies within our municipal staff, that's all there, as well as that website is where the starting point is. We're moving on to we're branching out in a couple areas where we haven't ventured before. You know, we now have a Twitter feed, we have an Instagram, Google Business. We're using those things for people to get updated and more in line with where we want to be at. And that will be, you're sitting in Panera Bread or in the library, you do a Google search on Bethel Park, that Google Business update that we're doing on the back end of our website brings us up as the first link on the Google. So we become a higher lead, a higher result for all the different search engines. We're trying to be that upfront individual for when people start searching and researching. Our partnerships are so important. And if you can see those top ones in the top left-hand corner, you can see what they are. Our chambers, our small businesses. That's where the rubber meets the road. And that's what makes Bethel Park such an amazing organization. We're so proud of that one. All of these, and there's many more, there are so many partnerships that we're looking to continue and to expand. Put this on there because I talked about Bethel Park now has a full-time grant writer and redevelopment coordinator. What we have seen in the past is there is the ability to get funding and so much money out there, but it was money being left on the table. So what we did, and I asked council, and they were very gracious to allow us to hire that full-time grant writer. As you can see, this was what our take was for every one of those years. For 2019, $745,000. 2020, $1.3 million. So far, awarded to date for 2021 is $245,000. The 2021 grants don't get usually awarded until 2022. You won't get those results until this year goes through. So, but as of just in March, we're at $245,000 and growing. So every month we're either getting an indication that we got a grant or we didn't get a grant, but we're still applying almost monthly for additional grants. Why? So I can take those tax dollars and stretch them even further to do more good for Bethel Park residents and the businesses. Those connections, those streets, the sanitary system, the storage system, anything we can do to make sure our tax base stays intact and not rise, but use those funds wisely as much as we possibly can. one of the things that we're so proud of. We did our Bethel Parks series, speaker series. We're part of the Allegheny Live Well series. We did our own Bethel Park, Live Well Bethel Parks speaker series. When I first got here in 2019, walked through there and you could hit a bowling ball and not hit a single person in the speaker series. Like, we would get like 10, maybe 15. It was just difficult. We didn't understand why. Because do you want to go out at night, 7 o'clock at night, and come listen to some speaker? The topic may interest you, but you're at home. You don't want to go back out for this one. The pandemic threw us into the means to maintain and establish a virtual connection. It also allowed us a platform. So it forced our hand, and now we're getting the first ones, 500 views, 600 views, 1,700 views, 1,100 views, but also on topics that are our residents choosing. We send the surveys out, you pick what you want to hear about, and we put on the speaker series and go find the speakers and engage them on the platform. All you got to do is grab your phone or your tablet and link on at the time that you want. And if you're busy at 7 p.m., there's folks over there at BPT, make sure it's on our social media and on our access channels so you can see it when you want it. We're close to the on-demand platforms for the Bethel Park Television. That's where we're going. Some of the key projects that are moving forward. We're continuing on with our park upgrades. I think our residents deserve that one and they're requesting it. The next one on the mix is Pine Tree Park. Got another $250,000 grant for the playground apparatus, upgrade of the basketball courts. We're putting some ADA compliant sidewalking portion of it. Others you just can't do ADA because the topography just won't allow it. There is our park and play. This is what's going to go on all throughout the summertime. We're going to start with very similar, Chris. You might like this one. I think you're going to be one of our vendors there, or our proponents. Yoga, exercise in the park. You know, that's one of those things where it helps the mind, the body, and the soul if you bring these components together. And so that was one of we wanted to start that off with an exercise component. Moving on, we have our Touch-A Truck. Our Director of Public Works, Susie Olinar. She is a legitimate, I can say that. She is awesome, and she wanted that Touch-A Truck, and she's going to have so many things going on over at the Public Works complex. We're doing our No Bad Juju. It'll be a free concert in one of the parks. Right there, it's going to be in Millennium Park on June 26th. Our Summer Spectacular on July 2nd. Our police department will continue this National Night Out. If anybody was able to attend it last year, I mean, without exaggeration, there was probably 400 to 500 residents at Miners Park in National. You were there. You saw it was standing room only. You were stuck there. We're trying to figure out how we can figure out and maybe push it out to multiple parks so it's not all in one. We're trying to work on that right now. And then we have our end of summer bash that'll be down in Simmons Park, kind of closing out that summer time frame. That will allow the residents to come out, engage, and get ready for the mindset of getting ready back to school for their kids. So really kind of like the bookends, opening and closing those events. As you can see up here, we've got big component of Bethel, getting that website up to date, because that truly is where we launch everything out. Information is power, and people want that information. We have our Park Avenue splash pad. You might have heard the hubbub. Bethel Park's going to have a splash pad. It's going to be right over there on the complex, the community center. It's going to be that one baseball field. We have to wait for another year because the governor's office isn't ready for us to submit our paperwork. We're waiting on them. So we are ready to go to bid right now. We just can't do it. So we're in limbo. We have other various MS4 projects going on, stream restorations, abilities to continue to enhance the ability for water to get away from people's residence and into the streams without destroying things. And ever present, we had to take our infrastructure at the municipal building and upgrade it. We were in dire need of retiring, 10-year-old servers, an antiquated shared drive system, a whole system that really needs to be upgraded, and that's what we're continuing that for the next, or at least next year. So that's what we're calling the Municipal Cloud Migration Project. So that will allow us to maintain a secure, reasonable operating system, while also really doesn't care to anybody here, but it helps us maintain that connection with our residents and our businesses to know that your local government is intact and moving forward in every possible way.